A lot of people watched it, but nobody's watching day to day, all day, unless you're me and just love this stuff. Procedures are okay, but we want to know, where do you stand? And so I think the more that politicians stop trying to be politicians and be people, then that will engage voters. We reject alternative facts, so come on in here and let me educate you on the facts. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? Welcome to the Q with Q's Daily Political Brief. It's me, your host, Quentin R. Giles. But if we're friends, you know you have to call me Q. What's going on, people? Now, y'all know I've been on a little bit of a vacation, baby. I was out there in that Mexican weather, got them beach vibes, them beach tings, calming me down. Wait, not beach tings. That sound like people. The waves of the beach. That's beach tings to me, okay? They just calm me down. But now, as you can see, I am back. And we have some things that we need to talk about. Hey, how y'all doing? I see you in the comments from Richmond, Virginia, from Michigan. Shout out to Michigan. From the Virgin Islands, Carlita Donovan. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for coming and viewing the live. We definitely have a little bit of housekeeping. First off, before we get into anything, y'all know how I feel. Dissent, not disrespect. So as we engage in dialogue and you talk in the comments and I'm talking verbally, please, if you wish to engage, disagreement is fine. We just don't do disrespect here. We had a little bit of an issue with that, but I think we got things under control. I don't want to have to block anybody, but if I see someone being disrespectful, then you're going to get blocked. And that's on period, niece. Period, poo. But you can disagree all day long. I love that. Disagree, please. Talk. Converse. We may have new epiphany, new thought, all those things. Also, if you can tell, the video quality is a little clearer. I know for the people that are watching on or listening on the podcast, you can't see the video quality. Can y'all let me know in the comments if the video quality has upgraded from last week? Can you tell a difference? Can you tell a difference in the video quality that we're doing today? Now, the sound is still a little off. I do have mics, but they weren't working with me. But I guess I should tell you, based on you all's continued support, it has afforded me to upgrade some gear. Okay, so we're streaming on not just an iPhone, which is what I had been previously doing. We're streaming on a camera that has a larger sensor and all of those things. So we're upgrading quality. If you've seen my Instagram or my TikTok today, I have a background that's child is over there. It's so tall. It's so very tall. I would turn the camera around, but I'm not. It's so very tall. But I'm trying to do some things and upgrade some things just so this experience is a little bit more professional and a whole lot better. We're trying to push it to another level. So I will work on the mics a little bit later. I guess I got to do some more YouTube and to figure that out. But I'm glad you all are here. But this is due to your support. Now, for those streaming on YouTube, we have a thing called super comments and super stickers. Shout out to everyone who has given one. That's an opportunity to get your comment featured here on the screen. If you do those, and by doing those, it also helps me continue to do what I do full time, which is giving you this political tea. I left my mug. My mug surely is in that cabinet. I'm not going to get up and get it right now. I should have had my mug when I sipped the political tea. I should have done that, but next time. But by doing a super comment or a super sticker, it helps me. I'll also give out my Venmo, Cash App, and all those things a little bit later if you want to contribute and help me continue to do this thing. Now, baby, that's the housekeeping. We got that out the way. Get the housekeeping out the way. Let's get into some things. Now, originally when I came to talk, the original story was going to be that Georgia was doing another recount. And we'll still start there. But there is a bigger story, which, again, if you followed me online, then I've already kind of talked about it. And you know what the bigger story is. But I still want to talk on Georgia just a little bit. And then we will get to the big breaking news out of the GSA. Now, Georgia is going to be doing a recount of the votes for the third time. Excuse me, not this is not the third recount. This is the second recount, but this will be the third time they counted the votes, right? You have the original count, then you have that by hand count, which we got that certification over the weekend. Actually, I was still on vacation when we got that certification that Biden still won Georgia. And now because of the margin, President Trump is still in his legal right to request a recount from the state of Georgia. So this is one of those things of like, you can do something, but should you do something? Well, he's doing it. And so there will be a recount of the votes, but this time it'll go by machine. So it'll be a lot quicker. It's not expected to change the results. President-elect Joe Biden will still win Georgia. Okay, still going to win Georgia. That's just on period. That's just the fact. And it is what it is. Now, I wonder if he's going to drop that and tell them no need to do that. Because what we found out probably a couple of hours ago from the GSA is that they are going ahead, they are granting permission for the transition to take place. Okay. Then we get a Trump tweet, right? Where Trump tweeted, I posted it on my Instagram at the Q with Q, that he directed, of course, he always has to be in charge, or he did something, or he did, it's so juvenile, but anyway, but that he directed the head of the GSA to go ahead and start the transition. And what we said next is what was very, I don't know if it was interesting to me, but it was just like, okay. But before I get into that, I got to shout out Shanti Bacon. Thank you so much, sis, for the super sticker. People, that is what we're talking about. That right there helps me keep doing this. So thank you so much, Shanti. Now, what I thought was just like, all right, what? Is because in the tweet that Donald Trump sent was, he said that he instructed, the head of the GSA to do this because he did not want her to continue to be receiving threats or anything like that. And she's done an amazing job heading up the GSA and really giving her these accolades via Twitter. First off, she should have done that 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. But okay, I mean, it's today, but I don't know that I'm like overly joyed, like, yay, she did her job. That's what she's supposed to do. Like, like that's kind of really the low bar. That's like what you're supposed to do. So he gave her accolades for that. But what he said was in the tweet that he instructed her to do so for the good of the country, although they will continue to fight on the good fight. And that's that double talk, right? Talking out of both sides of his mouth. On one hand, you're saying, go ahead and do the preliminary transitional stuff. Great job. Please move forward. But on the other hand, you're insinuating that you're going to fight the good fight as if you have potential to overturn this election, or that somehow this election won't still be called for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And so it's a whole psychology at play. I need Mary Trump on the show. Somebody call Mary Trump. She be over there down there on MSNBC and CNN. Tell Mary Trump come to the Q, because we need her to help us unpack this. Y'all know Mary Trump is Donald Trump's niece, and she's also a trained psychologist. We need sis to help us unpack this psyche, because I'm not understanding. But however, I will take it. I will take it. At this point, I'll take it. You know how you just be beat down and run down? Like when you tired of a relationship and you just be like, you know what? I don't even care. Just give it here. That's how I feel right now. Like just okay. If you have to double speak, and if you have to somehow soothe your own ego and your childlike behavior, and we still are moving along in the transition so that things can be in good discipline and order, at this point, okay, whatever. I don't have energy anymore. It's almost like some parents, when some parents be sick and tired of their child, when they just over it and ready for their child to get out their house. It's just like, you know what? At this point, child, you 17, you finna hit 18. You know what? I don't even care no more. I've been trying to tell you, you won't listen. So go right ahead. So at this point, Trump, I personally don't even care anymore. Okay. My thoughts on why he has arrived here, right, to this space of go ahead and start these preliminary procedures for the transition is because Michigan, shout out to Michigan. I saw somebody when they were putting where they were from in the comments, Michigan certified their votes today, their election today, for president, or really their entire election system, right? But president is at the top of the ticket. Reminder that even though there are federal elections, they are still state ran, right? United States of America. So each state runs their election how they see fit. That's why you have different state electoral laws, and blah, blah, blah. I'm getting off topic. But anyway, so Michigan came and certified their election today. Now, over the weekend, I believe Friday, the story was that Trump invited GOP Republican state lawmakers. Again, state lawmakers. You know, you got federal lawmakers, you got state lawmakers. He invited those state lawmakers over to the White House, and the assumption was that he was somehow going to try to coerce them like he had done what was that? Detroit, the canvassers in the Detroit area. I can't think of the county. I believe it's Wayne County, but I know Detroit was in it. Somehow get them to appoint their own electors when we get down to the Electoral College, which is, I'm looking at my calendar right now, just a few weeks away, or somehow circumvent the will of the people, right? And somehow stop the certification of the election that happened today. Well, we see that, again, that happened today. So he was unsuccessful in doing that. Two things. I don't know if that's considered election interference, right? Just because you're the president don't mean you can do anything you want to do. So that's something we need to investigate when he get out of office at the state level, because again, elections are ran by the state and the president does not have a pardon for the state. So I need Gretchen Whitmer and the Attorney General to just look at that, flip through some pages in the law books and the textbooks and see if that's illegal, because something about that feels illegal. Something about that feels coercive. Even if the GOP lawmakers did not go through with it, have decided to live in reality and have decided to let the will of the people stand, since that's what our whole democracy is founded on. Somebody needs to look into, is that election interference, just like Lindsey Graham? Are they interfering with the election? Because that's a real crime, okay? That's a real crime, if so. So one, we need to look at that. Two, I'm not understanding what Trump and his team is thinking. Well, I do kind of understand, but I don't know why nobody was talking, right? It seems like they were trying to run that Florida replay book. And so in 2000, even though I was a kid, we've learned about it, we've heard about it. In 2000, with the Bush v. Gore situation and the Supreme Court intervening, because remember, we need to get this up because the Supreme Court is going to have to decide this election. Those are Trump's words, right? Or a broad quote of what he had been saying. Let's rush and get Amy Coney Barrett on the bench because, we need to justice just in case this get up to the Supreme Court. Well, if we look back at 2000 and Bush v. Gore, we're talking about one state and like 500 votes that determined that election, and it went up to the Supreme Court. One state, 500 votes. Joe Biden won Michigan, who certified their election today, who Trump invited those GOP lawmakers to the White House. Joe Biden won Michigan by 150, or more than 150,000 votes. More than 150,000 votes. And even if you overturn Michigan, Joe Biden still won the presidency. Still. So you would have to overturn several states for Trump to win this election, right? And again, we're not this election wasn't all that close. Yes, Georgia's close with what, 12,000 last time I checked, somewhere around there, a 12,000 count. That's close, but that used to be a Republican stronghold. So we're not even, not to say we're not looking at Georgia, because obviously there are 2 Senate races coming up, but we're not even talking about Georgia. We're talking about states. Donald Trump won Michigan in 2016. I believe it was 10,000 votes, 12,000 votes. So Joe Biden won with an overwhelming majority. The Michiganders said, no, ma'am, Pam, we don't want you, Trumpy. We don't want you. So they're trying to run this whole playbook like it's 2000 with Bush v. Gore, when, again, that was one state. We're talking about 500 votes as opposed to several states, and we're talking about hundreds of thousands of votes in the various states. Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen. Joe Biden will be the president-elect. Kamala Harris will be the VP-elect. Let me do a little bit of housekeeping because I see something that I like to see from Aaron E. Shout out to you, sis. I see we got a super comment right here. Thank you so much, sis. That's going to keep me doing what I'm doing. Even if they changed electors, SCOTUS ruled in July that electors must vote the way of the popular vote. It wouldn't work. Now, okay, I'm gonna have to Google that. I didn't see that. What I saw was a court case that said that went up to SCOTUS. That in SCOTUS, abbreviation for people that don't know, is Supreme Court of the United States. But what I saw, because we do have those two electoral college court cases when Hillary Clinton was running, because those electors didn't want to vote for her. They wanted to, do their own thing. So I didn't see that SCOTUS ruled that they had to vote the way of the popular vote. I saw that SCOTUS ruled that states can punish, via the law, faithless electors. And basically what a faithless elector is, like, let's say my state, Texas, says whoever wins the popular vote in Texas, the elector for the electoral college representing Texas has to vote the will of the people, has to vote with the popular vote. But if the elector gets up there and tries to do something different, then per Texas state law, there are negative consequences. So I'm gonna have to go back and look at that. But okay, shout out to you, Aaron, and thank you so much for the super comment. We're gonna have to see that. I'm actually working on another YouTube. It won't be live. That is actually surrounding the electoral college, just education on what it is, how it came about, and what it is today. Should we abolish it? Should we keep it? That whole thing, working on that right now. So stay tuned for that. That'll be on the YouTube channel, just as a video, not a live. So yeah, that is that's that. So the transition happened today, or is starting today. It happened, we got the announcement late tonight, so I guess technically the transition will start tomorrow. So we can presume that President-elect Biden will start receiving those national security briefings that the president himself gets, President Trump gets. Him and Kamala Harris will get linked into that. Also, promising news that the two COVID task force, if you will, the presidential task force and Joe Biden's COVID team will be able to, finally meet and talk, because which really leads us into our next story with these vaccines potentially becoming available. We really don't want to be in a position, especially for people that want to get the vaccine, we don't want to be in a position to where the ball is dropped somewhere because the two teams were not allowed to talk. So there's going to be continuity there, right? Even if Joe Biden's team decides to take a different course, which I am sure they will, because Joe Biden is going to greenlight them being more aggressive than Donald Trump is with his team. At least they know exactly where they left off. They don't have to guesstimate. They don't have to come in and read through a bunch of papers. They can start talking. And now Biden's team can start a transition process with that, right? I'm pretty sure there will be some overlap. I'm pretty sure they're going to ask Tony Fauci to come on in there as soon as Trump is out as well. Tony Fauci's still in place. So I'm pretty sure Dr. Tony Fauci is going to be over there on Joe Biden's team. So there probably will be some overlap. I wouldn't be surprised at that. Shout out to you, Sierra. Thank you so much for the super sticker love. Thank you so much, Ms. Ratcliffe. So that happened. And in regards to the vaccine, AstraZeneca has come out and said that they have a vaccine that is 90% effective as well. And so, as of now, we have three potential vaccines that are claiming to be, 90% effective. Now, what I want to know in the comments, and shout out to the people listening on the podcast. I know you can't type right now, but I guess you can say it out loud. In the comments for people watching and streaming right now, and for my people listening on the podcast, do you wish to take the vaccine, or do you wish to continue to wear the mask, or both? Because that might be a thing too. What do you think that you are going to do for your own personal life? Is it a vaccine for you? I know that I've talked to some healthcare professionals who have told me, that they're basically going to be mandated, which is not as outrageous as we would think for the public, because a lot of healthcare professionals, like when the flu comes around, they have to get a flu vaccine, or they have to wear their mask in the hospital from a certain period of time, during flu season. So there are preventative measures, either vaccine or mask, or both. So I'm just wondering, I'm seeing a lot of both. Oh, I see a mask for me in the comments, vaccine and mask. Okay, so we have a variety of thought and opinion on the subject. Well, we'll see, because all three of these companies, are going to be buying. Of course, they want to be first, because then that means their vaccine is the breakout vaccine, right? So That's a thing. Me personally, you all know I've talked to you about this before. I am not an anti-vaxxer. I do believe vaccines have their place. I do believe vaccines are effective. Me personally, I just want a credible doctor that I trust to vouch for the vaccine. And then I can't even say that at that point, I'm still going to be okay with it, because I'm looking at it like, you know, we've been dealing with this for 8 to 9 months, right? So there's only really so much data you have. So how long am I immune? That's a question. I've seen some doctors on the TV and they're saying, you know, this is promising. They're going to be looking at the data, but I would really like for them to ask, like, how long is this said immunity, right? Because you can't tell me that I'm going to be immune for 5 years, because we hadn't been in this thing for 5 years. So how many times am I going to have to come back and get this shot? I need more data for me to feel comfortable. So I'm totally fine with wearing a mask till 2022. We could bump to 2023. I don't have a problem with the mask no more. I done found different masks for different occasions. Y'all know I love my Christ over culture. I don't know. Y'all know I love my Christ over culture mask. I get to rep, you know, show right up. When you see it, boom, baby, Christ over culture. But when I go to the gym, I use my surgical mask, because the Christ over culture is it's more difficult to breathe as I'm working out. But the surgical mask, I get a little bit more wind flow, but I'm still protected, you know, boom, boom. Got the No Man Pam mask over there somewhere too. So I'm totally fine with the mask. I have gotten used to it. I have adapted to it. I understand that it is necessary, because I like to use my lungs. I like to breathe in and breathe out. Inhale and exhale. Hello, somebody. I like to do those things. Those things work for me, and I don't want to have a struggle doing them. So super interesting, everybody's thoughts and opinions and comments. Again, shout out to the people on the podcast. Shout out to them. Let's see. So, I kind of jumped around. Y'all know how I be on my notes. I be jumping around sometimes. We already talked about Georgia. So let's get into Kyle Rittenhouse. I didn't talk about it. I saw Kyle post bail. I think I was still on vacation when it happened. But before we get too deep into that, let me give a shout out to Crystal Osborne for the super comment. Thank you so much, ma'am. She says, and this is in regard to the COVID vaccine conversation we were just having, I'd love to know immunity length. I'm recovering from COVID now, and let me tell you, it's hell on earth. Don't slip up. Don't slip up. In parentheses, I did wear a mask. Wow. So definitely, Crystal. Definitely, Crystal. We are with you. I'm definitely praying for you. I'm gonna say a prayer right now internally, and as I pray tonight, we definitely want you to get well and get better. Thank you for the super comment, but thank you for letting us know that you caught it, right? And that you are using that moment to tell people, hey, this is a real thing, and to wear a mask, and that you admitted that you slipped up. That takes a lot, because you could have just said, I caught the COVID, right? You gave us the full story. You showed us everything. So thank you so much for Crystal. Crystal's warning, wear a mask. It helps. Thank you so much, Crystal. We hope you get well. Shout out to you, Sarah. 1 second here. Shout out to you, Sarah, for the super sticker. Thank you so much, Sarah. I truly, truly appreciate it. That is wonderful. And I see one more from Erin E. Let me pull it up. I see her with the super sticker. Shout out to you, Erin. Thank you. Them my vocals. Those is my vocals. Those is my vocals. Yes, those is my vocals. So let's see. Oh, one more from Erin E. Will you discuss the current purging of voters in GA? Well, let me touch that real quick before I dive back into Kyle. Here's the thing with the purging of the VA. Purging of voters in Georgia. I've seen the video, the viral video, right, that everyone's been sharing. People have sent it to me. I am hesitant to jump on the bandwagon until I know that that's true. I have not heard from credible sources that is happening right now. I'm not saying it's not happening. I'm saying I haven't heard from sources that I trust that that's happening. And although the video that I've seen is a call to action, right? And I'm sure, I don't know, you may or may not be talking about this specific video. But there's a woman saying, she was registering people, and these people were registered for the presidential election. Now they're not, and it was all Black women. That I did see that because several people have been sending it to me. Again, I'm not saying that she's lying. I'm just saying that I haven't seen a credible source. And so I have been hesitant to talk about it and say, hey, this is an actual thing happening. Even now, I want to be clear. It is just a video that is being sent around. It's kind of getting some virality. So again, we gonna be talking. First off, we gonna be talking about Georgia anyway. We finna get into Georgia. We about to get into Georgia teams. But that's that. I haven't seen it. I'll do a little digging to see. But again, I hadn't seen any credible sources. We are going to get into. Oh wait, Aaron, hold on now. I live in Georgia. It is true. I was on the SOS conference this AM. Okay, so let me put that down in the notes. Hold on. Now, what is the SOS conferences? Thank you so much for the super sticker. When you respond, let me say this. You don't have to give another super sticker. I'm gonna be looking for your comment, but if you want to, I'll take it. Okay. What's the SOS conference so I can look that up? And I know what SOS means, but is that something specific? What organization was that tied to on that conference call? GA voter roll. Let me know. I'm gonna be looking in the comments for you, Aaron E. We have another one. Shout out to another super comment. We love to see it. We love these things. Thank you so much. You all, if you're watching on YouTube, you could just do that at the bottom as you put in your comment. Just go ahead and it'll show you how to do the super sticker, super chat, and all that. Okay, and I see Aaron. It was from the Secretary of State. Okay, of State. In Georgia, and I looked it up. Okay, so Jordan with the other super comment says, Supreme Court unanimously held that states may penalize electors failing to cast their ballot for the presidential ticket won by the state's popular vote. Okay, so Jordan is talking about a story that we talked about earlier. So that was, okay. So we got two people coming into agreement with that. Let me go ahead and put an asterisk next to that. And we'll be sure once I Google that and get some info on it, we'll be sure to include it in the video that I'm going to do about the Electoral College, the history, and everything else. Voters can punish. Okay. All right. So now let's talk about Kyle Rittenhouse. And in the midst of doing this, y'all, I've actually had to block someone in the comments. As soon as I said Kyle Rittenhouse, I saw something that we are not going to tolerate. So that person has been blocked, especially in regards to this story. So we know Kyle Rittenhouse. We've seen the video, right? I saw the video. He is the 17-year-old who is charged with killing two people in one of the protests that happened in Wisconsin surrounding Black folks being slain in the street by cops. If you see the video, you clearly, first off, he was 17 with a gun. That's one. Illegal already, right? And he crossed state lines. So he's already broken the law. He is a criminal. And we see him on video kill two people. Now, there are people who have risen up in the name of, well, he was just trying to protect property. And what was he supposed to do? I've seen TV hosts over there on the Fox News basically say, well, somebody had to take up arms and, if nobody else was going to do it, then, I see how this kid decided to do that. And wrong answer. First off, it's illegal. It's interesting how people want to negate the law when it suits their political agenda or when it suits people that espouse things that they espouse. It's wrong, right? We have laws and rules. We expect everyone to follow them. So there's that. What's disturbing is there are people that rallied and have raised enough to post this $2 million bail. You got kids on the street hungry right now. I ain't seen no cash flow. But y'all got smoke and y'all have energy to bail him out of jail, right? But like I said in another video, y'all still don't have no smoke for them 13 white men that planned on killing cops when they wanted to kidnap the Michigan governor, Gretchen Whitmer, and they were going to plan to kill the cops that were going to respond to her kidnapping. No smoke for that. No energy for that. But y'all got energy for someone, a teenager who took a gun and killed people at a protest who was protesting the police brutality that has turned into a culture war. Y'all got all the smoke and the energy and the funding. There's the gag, and the funding. You put money behind it for that. It is not only showing your cards. That's the least offensive way I can try to put it. That is not only showing us who you are, it is showing us what you believe. I see another super comment, and I think it's pertinent to right now. First off, shout out to you, Allie the Great. I totally appreciate your super comment. Thank you so much. She says it's the valuing of property and inanimate objects over human lives for me. Period, Pooh. Sis said it. Allie, get real. Allie, get real. Correct. It's the valuing of human lives. It's the valuing of property over human lives. And it is, it is not only demonstrable, it is crazy, especially when you think of our history, and especially when you think about these pillars of America that people claim to love. They claim to love democracy. They claim to love their freedoms. They claim to love all their amendments, especially that second one, right? But you don't love the bodies that these amendments and this democracy is supposed to lift up. Or you don't love all the bodies equally. You love some more than others. And then you gaslight people who demand justice and who demand that you treat us equally and equitably. That's what it is for me. So I would really rather, honestly, as we move into 2021, I would really rather people just come out and say, yeah, I'm racist, and that's what it is. That way we don't have to do the whole gaslighting thing. I would rather you come out and say, I don't care that Mexicans is being killed on the border. I don't care that black folks get shot by the cops. Like, I just don't care about that. I think I've gotten to a level of not really wanting passive racism, or not really wanting to be gaslit anymore. Just come out and say it. Just go ahead and say it, and you be there, and we'll be here, and we can figure out how we're gonna move forward. Because you cannot convince me. You can't convince me that you value us all the same when you would demonize a black man who was killed by cops based on a past record, but you would come to the defense of a white kid based on a current active record. Like, you actively killed those people on that camera. You did that. So spare me the false equivalency, and spare me the false humility, and spare me the gaslighting of your racist behavior and your racist actions. Spare me. We're going into 2021 and COVID is still on the rise. I don't have time for the shenanigans. Shout out to Elaine. Oh, Elaine, I'm going to butcher your last name. So I'm not even going to try to attempt it, because I promise you I'm going to mess it up. Thank you so much for the super sticker, sis. Thank you so, so much. I really and truly appreciate it. I think I saw one more as well. Here we go. Yes. Sierra Ratcliffe, and we're still on the Kyle Rittenhouse comment. She says his mama drove him, and that's even crazier. Yeah. And the question becomes, did she know her son had a gun? Did she knowingly drive him across state lines with the possession, knowing that an underage person could not possess a firearm? So do we need to look at her? Do we need to investigate her as well? I don't know. And I feel very, what's interesting? I feel very calm right now. I think I'm just a little tapped out. I'm just a little tapped out of the gaslighting and getting outraged for people showing me who they are. I keep wanting people to change, and I think we keep wanting people to change, but I am learning, and I don't want to be cynical, that the morality argument just does not work for some people, because some people just will not see us as equals. Some people just will not see our lives as a gem, as is theirs. As is theirs. I'm not saying my life matters more than yours, but I'm not saying that it matters less. That's the difference. that is the whole difference for me, right? The whole difference. So I think I'm just kind of tired. I'm just kind of tired and over not even trying to make excuses for people, but trying to figure out why people do what they do. They're showing me who they are. So I'm going to believe them. I'm going to believe them. And it's incumbent upon us, all of us on this chat. I see people in the chat. Oh, okay. Now it's another troll in the chat. Got it. Okay. I'll find them, y'all. I'll find them, tag their name, and I'll get them out. I think it's incumbent upon all of us to fight back. And I don't mean like taking up arms like them. I mean in pushing for legislation and policy that punishes those that would kill us or that would put us down for the sake of trying to feel superior. That's what it is. Can y'all put the troll's name? That way I can go ahead and, okay, I got him. Blocked. Boom. That's how we do that. Thank you. So yeah, that is how we fight back. That's how we fight back. We push political candidates that want to help us, that want to make it more fair and equitable. Because that's the thing. It's not enough to just be equal. It's not enough to be seen as equal. We need it to be equitable so that we all have a fair shake. Now, will some people fall? Yeah. But we need to try to pull them up. But we all need to have an equitable stake. We all need to have a chance at life, man. At life. Anyway, I'm gonna get off my tangent. We got another super comment here. Shout out to Tracy T. Tracy T. Okay, I'm gonna butcher this last name as well. She says Ricky S. and the man who sells pillows helped him get out. Every time I see that commercial, I cringe. You talk about the My Pillow man? Baby, I got a My Pillow on my bed now. I didn't get rid of the My Pillow after the thing at the White House with Trump. Y'all talking about the My Pillow man help him get out, and I got a My Pillow on my bed? Somebody put in the comments, and let me write this down so I can Google this. Did My Pillow man get him out of jail? Out of jail. I know not. I know not. Oh, baby, I'm gonna have to Google that. Why you, child? I slept so good on that My Pillow last night, but okay, let me find out. Shout out to you, Lynn McClary, for the super sticker. Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate that. Sis just sent a $20 super sticker. Y'all have no idea how much this helps. Oh, let me tell y'all this, and then I'm gonna go. So in addition to the upgrade here with the camera, you know, I told y'all I got some mics as well. This is what your support has been helping me to do, just kind of upgrade some stuff. We got should I turn this camera around? I'm gonna turn the camera around real quick so y'all can see this tall thing. Do y'all see that? I got some of the paper that I was talking about earlier on for the YouTube, just to increase the production. I was also looking into starting to go to a studio, right? To kind of like build this thing out even more. But what I'm thinking I'm going to do, or what it looks like I'm going to do instead, is really go from a 1-bedroom to a 2-bedroom. And that way the 2-bedroom is always there, and I'm going to turn it into this production studio, and I'm going to be able to film more content and give you all things. What I really want to do is recreate some civic education for us. I want to recreate like Schoolhouse Rock, and teach people what a bill is, teach people what the Chambers of Congress is, what is SCOTUS supposed to do, should there be term limits on SCOTUS, like just all these different things. They all won't be live. There'll be videos on YouTube. I'm really trying to push the YouTube and maximize that, and I'm thankful that you all have decided to participate with me here. So your ongoing support is helping me fund those things. Obviously, it costs money to do stuff. Please don't give money if you don't have it. I've had people reach out to me and be like, oh, it's only this. Baby, I'd be appreciative for $1. And if you ain't got that, baby, just keep watching, okay? But I did want to let you know and just cue you all in. Cue you all in. I wanted to cue you all in to let you know that is what this money goes to continue to help me to live and do this stuff. Also, the interns will be brought on very soon. I've already got one that is working with me. If you saw that, I was posting for the intern. So I got one already. There are a few more that I'm thinking about bringing on. I still have to interview them, but their resumes look amazing. So that'll be great because they're going to be giving content ideas as well. And so your support will help. Although they're interns and they are working for free, I'm going to bless them with some every once and again, whether that's like an end of the year sum or we go out to eat or gift cards or something like that. That's why I really wanted people in Houston. So if I wanted to do something as a group, socially distancing without masks, we could. So I just want to put that out there and let you all know that it is not going to waste. And I got to give a shout out to Deshaun Parker. Wow. Thank you so much for this super sticker. Why is it not coming up? Truly, there it is. Boom. It's on the screen now. Sorry, people on the podcast, you can't see. But Deshaun Parker just sent $49.99. Thank you so much. People on the podcast, if you'd like to send things, I'm going to put my Cash App and all that stuff into the show notes. And I have one more. Somebody said the lighting is great. Thank you. I tried to do something. Okay, y'all money bought some lights too. Okay, y'all bought some lights. And I'm really sad that the mic didn't work because I did see a comment that y'all said the audio, it's still kind of grainy. I bought the wireless mics thinking like I'm going to be able to plug it in and, it'll be a little upgrade, but I'm gonna have to YouTube and figure that out a little bit more. Thank you so much, Hillary L, for the super sticker. Thank you. I see a super comment right here from K. Elizabeth Lindsay. She says, awesome, can't wait. People need to know. Yeah, and what I'm gonna do is I really wanna make the content geared to where teachers can show it in their classrooms as well, so that the civic education starts younger. So that might mean I have to dial back on a little bit of personality. Y'all know I like to just be young, wild, and free here with y'all, but I'm thinking about how can this also be approved to be shown in the classrooms. And so it'll still be me. I'm not gonna go boring, but it might just be a little dialed in so that that content can be shown there. So y'all just bear with me. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for rocking with me. I got one more. Oh my gosh. First off, Tammy Thurston. Now y'all know, I don't know why. I have never met Tammy a day in my life. And this is not even about her comment. But for whatever reason, anytime when Tammy comment and I see Tammy comment, baby, that Thurston just come out of me. I'm pretty sure this woman don't even say her name like that. I'm pretty sure her name is Tammy Thurston. But for whatever reason, I want to accentuate the Thurston. I don't know why. Shout out to you, Tammy Thurston. Tammy says in a super comment, a little something to help get a new pillow. Baby, y'all done missed them on my pillow sleep because I ain't gonna be able to do it. I ain't gonna be able to do it. Thank you, Tammy Thurston. Thank you so much, Tammy Thurston. Anyway, guys, this is the end of our daily political brief. I will be back tomorrow. I'm going to get us on a scheduled time. I don't know what it will be tomorrow, but pretty soon it will be a scheduled time where we're going to go live every night at the same time. So you always know, and I'm going to get you in, get you out in about 45 minutes. So thank you all for rocking with me. Thank you all for commenting and watching on the various platforms. Thank you all for listening on the podcast. Thank you, especially thank you for the super comments and the super chats and the Venmos and Cash Apps and all those things. You don't know how much it really helps. And I just love y'all because y'all are literally funding the dream to keep doing this full time. So thank you. Y'all have a great night. The transition is on. You know what we didn't talk about that we'll talk about tomorrow? Biden did make some, and I just called my other set of notes. Biden did make some policy, not policy. Biden did make some cabinet level positions made known today. And we were actually going to be talking about that today, but then the transition moving forward happened and it kind of threw my mind all over the place. So tomorrow we'll be talking about that. We'll talk about some historic nominations that he made and anything else that pops up, but I'll try to lead with the picks that he picked today and what that says about the state of play. And before I go, one more shout out to Dale Williams. Thank you so much for the super comment or the super sticker. Love it. I love you all. You all have a great evening. Make sure you are wearing your mask. Hello? Make sure you are wearing your mask and make sure you are socially distanced. And y'all have a good one. And we'll be back tomorrow. A lot of people watched it, but nobody's watching day to day, all day, unless you're me and just love this stuff. Procedures are okay, but we want to know, where do you stand? And so I think the more that politicians stop trying to be politicians and be people, then that will engage voters. We reject alternative facts So come on in here and let me educate you on the facts.